Not some theory, not something that might work, but something that works pretty often because I use it myself and I use it to get phones. Josh says, Aaron, do you give commission if someone signs up for Next Level Phone? I do not. I do not have an affiliate program with Next Level Phone Flipping. However, if you refer anyone, I will give you a big hug, and I'll tell you I appreciate you, and I'll make sure I upload extra images in the Next Level of group chat. So I don't know if that's good enough or not, but I do not at this current time. But I appreciate you asking. So who's down for that? Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys want to do a couple text negotiation breakdowns. Not easy ones. These are tough ones. Ones I got, one you'll see, guys, they said no to my price like 4 or 5 times, but I followed the same system I teach you guys, and I got them to close. Taylor says I want it. Taylor, do you want to see the text or you want the cheeseburger? I'm a little confused because someone was ordering cheeseburgers. Sean says the harder the better. Sean, I did a really tough one about a month ago. It's in the back office of Next Level. This guy had different types of objections, and I handled all of them really good. But this is a really good one as well. The affiliate program. I'll have to talk about it. This is linked directly to David. So me and David, it's me and David's thing, so I'd have to talk to David. I think an affiliate program would be cool because I think people do benefit a decent amount from Next Level. I'm kidding, says Taylor. Okay, no worries. All right, guys, so let's dive right into it. I want the text, all right? So let me go ahead and pull up this thing. I got it all prepared for you guys. If you guys remember a long time ago, I actually used to show the text on my phone, but now I save it to my computer and I pull it up so everyone can see it. Everyone can see it pretty clearly. And is everyone else doing good? Let's see. I want to see anyone maybe I haven't. Robert, Ryan. Oh, we got a couple Ryans on here. Todd, are you guys all doing good? And Yosef, Miss Keisha. Guys, Keisha joined Next Level, was doing $3,000 a month. 2 months later, she did $20,000. She did $20,000 last month. She works a full-time job, gets off of her job at midnight, and she's a real estate agent. So that means even if you don't work optimal hours, as long as you hustle, as long as you do the things you're supposed to do, and as long as you improve your skill set, you can still make pretty good money in this phone flipping business. Is that profit or sales, says Sean? That was sales. Ryan's doing fantastic. Good to hear. Oh, Keisha's out picking up phones. Keisha's on it, guys. Real estate agent, gets off at her, she got a full-time job, gets off work at midnight, and still picks up phones. I mean, obviously on her days off, my guess is she picks up phones as well. All right, so let's dive into it. So I'm excited, guys. I think you guys are going to get a lot of value from these texts, and I purposely picked texts that were not as easiest because, you know, I want to show you guys the correct way to handle some of this stuff. Robert's driving to pick up a phone right now. Fantastic. All right, give me a sec. Let me realign this right here. And we're going to do that. And we're going to end that. And we're going to go right here. And screen number 3. All right, guys. So before I dive into it, I want you guys to give me the breakdown. So there's a 5-part process everybody must go through before you buy a phone from them. From them initially reaching out to you picking the phone up and having it in your hand before you list it on eBay. There's a 5-part process. Can anyone tell me what this 5-part process is? 5 parts. It comes directly from the script. Someone let me know what it is. It's a 5-part process. Any phone you've actually ever picked up, if you're consciously aware of it or not, you've walked the prospect through this 5-part process. And obviously, the more aware you become of it, when you're consciously aware of it, you can make a focus and a decision to get to the next steps. So it is, we're going to go ahead and turn that down. So it's smoother. So the first thing is R, stands for reach out. The customer reaches out to us. Then after they reach out to us, we got to go to W, which is we got to figure out what they have. Once we figure out what they have, we got to make them an offer. Once we make them an offer, we got to close the deal. And once the deal's closed, we got to go for the meetup. And all these steps are important. So let's think about this, right? If you guys remember from Friday's group chat, we put up an ad. The ad is designed to get someone's attention, to get them interested, and to get them to take action. And as soon as they take action from the ad, they send us a message or call us, they automatically start here for R. R stands for reach out. They've reached out to us. you get the text or you get the message that says, hey, I'm interested in this item, or hey, I got a phone for sale. So R stands for they reach out to us. As soon as they reach out to us, we always, as quickly and effectively as we can, go to the next step. So they reach out to us, we got to figure out what they have. We got to figure out the phone, we got to figure out the condition, we got to figure out the carrier. Once we figure out what we have, we make them an offer. Once we make them an offer, we close them. So let me ask you guys a question. Has anyone here ever made an offer on a phone and the customer did not accept the offer when you made it? Has anyone here ever made an offer? Give me a yes in the chat if you've ever made an offer on a phone, but the prospect didn't like the offer. I got a yes from Mr. Ryan. I got a yes, sir, from Chris. I got a yes from Keisha. Guys, it happens to me every single day. So we have to do things every day, says Steve. And Steve's out there making it happen with that 25 grand. So we know Steve's running into that probably maybe a few times every hour. So what we got to do is we got to do a couple things to go from the offer to the close. One of the things is we have to improve our negotiation, which we're going to go over right now today. The other thing is we got to run the numbers. You can't be getting 5 leads a day and expect to hit big numbers in this business. Our goal, especially if we're using the apps and through messaging, is 20 leads a day. We want to be getting 20 leads a day. And you say, Aaron, that sounds like a lot. Well, if we're posting in Facebook groups, Craigslist, Marketplace, 5 miles, Let Go, and Offer Up, if we're posting to 6 different platforms and you only get 3 leads per platform, which as we know, we can get a lot more, it's not that hard. So part of it is getting good at negotiating. Part of it's running the numbers. Because some people are just not going to close. And, of course, some people, guys, are going to have phones that you don't want to buy, like an iPhone 5 with a cracked screen, iCloud lock bent, right? We're probably not going to pick that up. So once we get through this process, we're going to go to the meetup. We got to figure out the place, the time, and the place. And, of course, we have things in place to make sure that runs smooth. So with that said, let's go ahead and talk about this. Now, what are some other things we know when we're dealing with messaging? Someone just threw out some other universal sales principles, negotiating principles we use when we are doing stuff through messaging. Someone just tell me something about this. Someone give me some things that we know. Maybe some of the veterans that have been here for a while that kind of know some of the stuff. A couple of the things would be, with that Mr. Todd hitting it over the head, that's a great phone. So one of the things is we're going to keep good. Ooh, that's a big font. You guys see that font? That's a big font. Keep good energy. Awesome. Great phone, says Todd. So we're going to be positive, and that matters. If we're not throwing, okay, cool, okay, great, awesome, stuff like that, it makes it seem like you don't really care. The other thing we know is we lead by someone tell me. We lead by asking someone help me out. We lead by asking with tacos maybe or questions. Todd's on it, all right. We lead the conversation by asking questions. Now, why do we do this? Guys, a sales conversation, the tone, the feel, the structure, and the goal of a sales conversation is different than any other conversations. If I'm hanging out with parents, like I hung out with mom and dad yesterday, we have dinner, we watch a movie, I'm not really trying to get anything. There's not really an end goal there. So we're just kind of making small talk. When I'm at the club the day before talking to girls, I'm kind of making, I'm just bonding. I'm trying to bond, right? It's not like I'm trying to get them to sell me a phone, right? When it's a sales conversation, though, a sales conversation is different because it's all about getting an end result. We have an end goal. The end goal is to hopefully buy the phone. So what we're going to do as sales professionals is we are going to control the conversation, lead the conversation by asking questions to move from this step to this step to this step to this step to this step. I see some people that are mediocre, that are like decent, they're getting better at negotiating, but one of the things they won't do is they'll make statements, but they'll sometimes, when you make an offer, you make a statement. That's how that offer is. But sometimes they'll be here in the offer phase, And they're not asking questions. You got to always be thinking, I need to be saying stuff to get to the next step. The question I'm saying might not get me to this step right now, but it's a piece of information I need to like get me here to eventually get me to this step. I'm going to show you real working examples in the text conversation breakdowns. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. The other thing is we're going to messages shorter, the better. We want these to be the shorter, the better. Now, sometimes they got to be a little bit longer, but sometimes you'll see me writing stuff, and I'll write like 3 sentences, and if I can condense it down into 5 sentences, then if I can condense it down into 5 sentences, or I'm sorry, it'll be 3 sentences, but if I can make it 2 sentences, it's better. People's attention span, guys, do people have a long attention span or a short attention span? What do you guys think? Do people want to read, 10 sentences, or do they want to read 5 words? Which one are they more likely to respond to? More likely to respond to 5 words. They want to keep it short. They want to keep it simple. That's just how it is. Sometimes I have people that send me messages, and it's sometimes I don't really message people back anymore on Facebook because it's like I'm getting 10 to 20 random people messaging me about phone flipping, and then I get people from that are in phone flipping. It's just not a very good use of time. But a lot of times these people send me 10 paragraphs. I'm like, I'm not going to read 10 paragraphs. I barely read 10 paragraphs. My best friend sends me 10 paragraphs, all right? So we got to keep it short, simple, and right to the point. So give me a 1 in the chat if all this makes sense. I'm going to show you guys the conversations. Just give me a 1 in the chat if all this makes sense. And I want you guys to keep this in mind as we're going through the message conversations, because I'm going to show you guys, hey, what's up, Matt? We're going to, I'm recording this, right? Now I'm always nervous. All right. We're recording, right? I hit the record button. All right, cool. Hey, what's up, Matt? All right, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. We're going to pull this here, and then we're going to pull this here. And then is this, all right, so let's do the other one first. Okay, all right, so you guys will like this one. So this is number 1, so we're going to start with number 2. All right, guys. So this person says, I have a Samsung S8 and a Samsung J7 Pro. Now, can you guys see the split screen? Just someone tell me if you can see the conversation at the top and then the Word doc at the bottom. I ask this every single time, guys. When I got the software I'm using, it doesn't highlight it, so I need to – sometimes it just shows like the – okay, I got a yes. So, all right, I appreciate it, guys. All right, so I have a Samsung S8 and a Samsung J7 Pro. Now, guys, I should have asked if it had any problems, and I should have asked which company it was with. However, I skipped over all that. I'm not sure why I skipped over all that. Sometimes I just assume that the phone is Sprint bad ESN, but I do always ask the condition of it. But I did not do it on this part. So what I did is I just appraised these as Sprint, and that's an error on my part, by the way. Not everything I do, I actually recover this later and make sure that they're not cracked when I call her a couple times. But you always need to be asking the condition, and you'll see that on the next message. Sometimes I'm just lazy and I praise a Sprint bad ESN, but I do always ask the condition. Here, though, guys, I just skip it, and I say, oh, what am I talking about? What am I talking about, guys? I was going to say this is not like me. I always ask if there's any problems. Awesome. Any problems with them, okay? So let's get this straight. They told us the phone. Now there's 2 other bits of information we need before we can accurately appraise it. What's the bits of information we need? There's 2 pieces of information. Someone tell me what they are. We know the phone. This is where we're at, guys. We're right here. They reached out to us, and they told us a little bit about what they have. They told us the phone, but we also need the carrier and the condition before we can accurately appraise it. There it is. Dang, Todd's on top of it. Condition and the carrier. Absolutely. We need the condition and the carrier before we can accurately appraise it. Gigabyte, we're going to assume the lowest. All right. Who here wants a trick question? Why do we assume the lowest gigabyte? I'm playing devil's advocate. Guys, if we ask the gigabyte and it's more gigabyte, we could offer more money and we have a higher chance of getting the deal. That's a true statement. So why do we assume the lowest gigabyte? Uh-oh, guys, this is the trick question. Guys, I'm asking the tough questions, but this is next level, and this is what we do. Does anyone know the answer to that? The reason we assume the lowest gigabyte is we have found that people get pissed off and they stop messaging us and they get aggravated and they want to quote fast. So if we ask too many questions before we make an offer, which is what they want, the offer provides value because it moves the conversation forward. If we ask too many questions, what color is it? How many gigabytes is it? Does it have any scratches or the deeper light, right? They're going to get aggravated, they're going to stop responding, or they're going to get pissed off and not want to sell us their phone. So it is better to assume the lowest gigabyte in order to move the conversation forward because it's more beneficial, we found through testing, and me testing over 20,000 messages, to assume the lowest gigabyte and just make an offer than it is to ask another question, because I realize when you ask too many questions before you make an offer, they get aggravated. Has anyone here, when you guys were starting off, asked too many questions and they send you something like, you going to make me an offer or what? How much are you going to get? Has anyone here ever gotten that? So to avoid that, we got to ask a couple questions. We got to get the most important things. But all the other stuff we're just going to assume, and it's going to allow us to make an offer, which is going to move the conversation forward. It's more beneficial doing it this way. Awesome. Any problems with them? You guys see what I'm doing here? They have two phones. So I'm going to appraise both of them. Instead of any problems with it, they want to sell both these phones to me. You guys see that? This person wants to sell both the phones to me, and I want to complete it. I don't want to do just one phone. If it's through calling, it might be different. But through messaging, I always do two phones at once if they have both phones because I want to complete it. If you're in let's say you're selling a house, right? So let's say we're going to have Keisha list her home. And we're living in a $10 million mansion. So hopefully, Keisha, we get a nice commission check on that, right? And we're going to do we want to liquidate everything in the home. And you want to liquidate everything in your home. And I come to you and I say, hey, look, I'll sell all your stuff. But wait, I'm only going to sell all the stuff from the first floor. I'm not going to sell everything from the second floor. Do you like that or do you not like that? Would you prefer that everything gets sold or me just go ahead and just sell the stuff from the first floor? What would you prefer? You want everything to get sold. You want the transaction to be complete. We do the exact same thing here. If they come to me with multiple phones, I appraise multiple phones because that completes them. They want to be completed. It completes it completes what they want. They want to sell both the phones, so I want to make them an offer on both the phones. Give me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Now, if they have one phone and we go through one phone and they say, by the way, I have another phone, then I say, go ahead, bring it. Bring it, I'll look at it when we get there. But if it's two phones up front, then I do both two phones up front. Awesome. Any problems with them? Nope, the S8 has the OtterBox bell clip, just switch carriers there for AT&T. So originally I would ask that it's for AT&T, but once they told me it's for AT&T, I can do what? I can make an offer, right? Because we got the phone, we got the condition, and we got the carrier, correct? So now we can make an offer. So let's see. All right, now we're going to go here. And to, whoa. So now I make the offer. Taylor says, Sprint Mad ASN. So I actually appraised this as clean ASN because the phones were a couple of years old. And they were AT&T. If they're like ever brand new in the box with the plastic or the newer phones, I always do those as bad ESN. But something like that, the S8 been around for a couple of years, J7 Pro. I'm going to look up the IMEIs when I get there and make sure they're not blacklisted. But with everything else being the same, I'm going to buy these as clean IMEI. Okay, now it's time to make the offer. Okay, cool. Okay, cool, guys, is the same thing as okay, great. It's the same thing as awesome. You can swap it out. Notice how okay, cool. It gives it a little bit of energy. Feel it. Okay, cool. I can give you 170 for both of them, right? It makes it complete. Okay, cool. Awesome. It's the same thing. Then this is important. I can give you the price for both of them. The offer, guys, always needs to have 5 parts. Okay, great. It doesn't matter. We're just going to say awesome. Awesome. I can give you $100 for both of them. For both of them. Is that what we said right here? Yep. Now look at the wording. Awesome. It gives it a little bit of energy. It makes it feel good, like Todd was saying. This is important. I can give you. It's very important to say this. This is very direct, but it's good because it's very clear. The price, with the price, guys, we always put a dollar sign. What looks better, this or this? This looks better. I can give you $100 for both of them. It's very clear that you're making an offer. Feel the difference. I got 100 for them. I got 100. 100. I can give you $100. Awesome. I can give you $100 for both of them. I want you guys to just pretend that you're the prospect. Pretend that you're there. You're judging me. Which sounds better to you? I got $100. $100. I can give you $100. Or awesome, I can give you 100 for both of them. Which sounds better? 1, 2, 3, or 4. You guys rate me. Which sounds better? Which sounds like I'm fully committed to the interaction? Which sounds like I'm a professional? And which sounds like a very clear offer? Number 4 says, Matt, ding, ding, ding. And you guys can feel that, right? You guys can feel that I'm being very professional with this. I'm making you an offer. I'm not afraid to put myself out there and you reject me, right? Sometimes we do that. When you're making the offer statement, it can feel vulnerable because they can tell you to get lost and they can say some nasty, nasty words to you sometimes that don't make you feel good. But that's okay. Steve says when he makes offers, I would say it like this. If you say it like this, Steve, I can give you this amount for both of them. This is very clear. Are you saying it like this? If you say it like this, the words have to be there where they understand it's for both of them. But when you say it like this, I can give you $100, $170 for both of them. Or if they got 4 phones, right? I appraised a 4-phone deal the other day. Okay, great. I can give you $2,000 total for all 4 of them. That's fine. So just start saying it like this. And if you ever have any issues, Steve, with it, just post it in Next Level 2, right? I can always help critique anything like that. That's because you're saying I can give you 100 for them. It's a little bit iffy to where it's not 100% clear. So just start saying it like this. I can give you $100 for both of them. I can give you $2,000 total for all 4 of them. So I have someone that'll have like a bunch of X's or a bunch of new phones. Okay, great. I can give you $2,000 total for all 4 of them. You see how this is very clear, and this is for Steve and everyone else. This is very clear, no confusion here. The words we say matter. Sometimes just a couple tweaks help a lot, and then everything is good to go. Let me see. Okay, I think that's good. So that's how I do that. All right, hold on. Let me go here. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. And then we're going to go here. And boom, we're going to go back there. All right, we're going to pull this back up. Woo, okay. Okay, cool. I can give you 170 for both of them. Now, guys, guys, I'm going to get your guys' input here. She says, no thanks. EcoATM has already scanned and quoted me 120 for mine and 80 for the J7. Guys, now I want to know what you guys would do in this situation. What would you guys do in this situation? What would you guys do in this situation? I want to get some feedback from you guys. What would you guys do in this situation? No thanks. EcoATM has already scanned and quoted me 120 for mine and $80 for the J7. Now, guys, what I did is I pulled up EcoATM. Bro, Chris, you are a funny guy. Todd says, say awesome. Let me know if that doesn't work out. So no worries, Todd, not a bad response. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to dig into the conversation a little bit because us as phone flipping professionals, we have discovered that the selling begins when the customer says no. Now, the other thing I did, guys, is I pulled up EcoATM on my phone, and I looked at the phones, and they offered like $105 for the S8, and they didn't even offer anything for the J7. So I know the customer's lying to me. Now, guys, I can do one of 2 things. I can get pissed off, tell the customer they're an Oompa Loompa knucklehead, never talk to me again, and go on a run to relieve all the piss off and the stress that I feel. Or I can stay calm, I can follow the script, and we can see what happens. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to do the line I taught you guys a couple weeks ago where we say, It looks like she's pulling out of the conversation. So I'm going to say oh, I'm sorry, you said it was a X. So let's recap this real quick. If you ever deal with, all right, guys, okay, so let's teach this real fast. After you make the first offer, the prospect falls into 3 categories. 1, they're still invested in the convo. 2, they are so-so invested in the convo. 3, they are pulling out of the convo. So let me teach you guys something kind of advanced here. So if they're pulling out of the conversation and they don't care, it doesn't matter how good your negotiating is because you've started to lose their attention. So if they're pulling out of the conversation, we're going to do things to get them back in the conversation so we can start negotiating with them. If they get emotionally aggravated with their offer, and we can't control it. The offer is the offer, right? We got to make our money. But it's still our job to control their emotions if we can. I want to control everything, right? So if they get aggravated with the offer and we start to do, oh, well, no worries, what were you looking to get for it? Has anyone ever followed that line with the script, by the way? They go, no thanks, that's too low. And you say, no worries, what are you looking to get for it? And they say, we are too far apart in price. I'll pass or something. Give me a 1 if this has ever happened to you. If this part of the script has ever happened to you. You're in the negotiating. You made an offer. They say something along the lines of, no thanks, that's too low. Or no thanks, I'll pass. When they say this, guys, I want you guys to understand this, and I'll have a parallel shift with this because this will change your messaging for the better. They fall into this category. They're pulling out of the conversation. They feel like you lowballed them. They're offended. It doesn't matter why they feel like that. All that matters is that's how they feel. When we say, no worries, what were you looking to get for it? They don't even fully process this because they're emotionally out of the conversation. Have you ever had someone talk to you and they're talking about stuff that doesn't interest you and you doze off into space? Has that ever happened to you? Give me a 1 in the chat if that's ever happened. Someone's talking to you and you just doze off into space, right? It doesn't matter what they say. You're not even aware of it. That's how they are when they're right here. When they're right here. Now, guys, I only discovered this about a month ago because, like I taught you guys before, I shared with you guys before, I've gone through about 20,000 message negotiations. I get better and better every single time, and every now and then I have these little breakthroughs. And, of course, you guys are in next level, so as soon as I have a breakthrough, I share it with you guys. So that's what happens here. So when they say, no thanks, that's too low. Now, sometimes, guys, sometimes you say, hey, it's, awesome. I can give you $200 for it. And they go, well, it's a really good phone. It's got a screen protector on it. It's paid off. Is there any way you could do $220? If they say something like that after the first offer, they're still very invested in the conversation. And then we don't have to do any, we don't have to save it, right? We don't have to worry about pulling them back into the conversation. If they say something like that, they're already invested in the conversation. When they say no thanks and that's too low, they're already starting to pull out of the conversation. So we have to do things to bring them back in the conversation before we can start negotiating with them. We have to get their attention a little bit more. Give me a 2 in the chat if that makes sense. This is a very micro, small detail, but this is a very, very big detail at the same time. I'm going to show you guys the words to use to say it. I just want to make sure you guys are kind of all on the same page and you guys understand this. You kind of just understand the point because it's something that's very important. So I say, whenever they're number 3, and I feel, guys, I want you guys to feel it. No thanks, Ikioto already scanned and quoted me 120 for mine and 80 for the J7. I'm going to say the most powerful line you always say whenever they're number 3 and they're pulling out of the conversation. Oh, I'm sorry, you said it was a J7 Pro. This is what you say. This pulls them back into the conversation. We're going to say, oh, I'm sorry, you said it was X. And X, guys, could be the phone, the carrier, whatever. It doesn't matter. The excuse doesn't matter as long as the excuse. Oh, you said it was an iPhone X. Oh, you said it was with Sprint Network. Taylor, do you like Sprint Network or do you not like Sprint Network, right? Taylor probably does not like Sprint Network. However, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to seem, we know Sprint's the lowest, but they don't know that. They could make it seem like it's a good thing. So we're going to say, oh, I'm sorry, you said it was a J7 Pro. Taylor loves it, makes him that money. You're absolutely right. We love those Sprints. So listen, I said, oh, I'm sorry it was a J7 Pro. She said yes, all right? Feel what's happening. I'm starting to pull her back into the conversation. Now I'm going to follow the script, and I'm going to go from, where are we at? Was that number 4? I want to say that was number 4. So now we're going to go to number 1. So we're going to say, oh, my fault. So now I'm making it seem like I made a mistake, even though logically for us, it doesn't make any sense for us, but they think there's something special about their phones. Oh, my fault. They're great phones. What are you trying to get for both of them? You guys see what I did here? I said, oh, I'm sorry. You said it was X, right? Yes. And then I'm going to say, oh, my fault, like I made a mistake. They're great phones. What are you trying to get for them? Guys, now I'm back in the script. The part of the script is you make the offer. They say they don't like the offer. And then we say, oh, no worries. They're great phones. What are you trying to get for them? If I said that with her, she would stop messaging me probably. But because I make it seem like I made a mistake, now she's going to keep messaging me. Now I can continue through the negotiation. Give me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. I know I'm asking you to pound a lot of 1s. But I just want you to see how I did that I took a little detour, but now I'm back and following the script, and I'm moving through the script. If you're moving through the script, you're making process. I got a bunch of 1s from Taylor. Appreciate it, Taylor. So my fault. They're great phones. What are you trying to get for both of them? She says 200. All right? Now I say, now the J7, guys, I looked up at a J7 Pro, and I couldn't find one for AT&T. So I'm trying to see what she's saying. I want to see if it's an actual J7 or what. The iPhone, the S8, I appraised those as selling for about $270, $280. So I'm trying to buy that for about $170. So I'm going to see what the J7 is to try to get a detail of it. 200. I said, is there any way you could send me a picture of the J7 Pro? I want to figure out what that is, guys. I've never heard of a J7 Pro. Normally, guys, I don't like asking for pictures because that's too much of a commitment, right? However, guys, because I said the lines, oh, I'm sorry, I made it seem like I made a mistake, I pulled her back into the conversation, and she thinks like, and I haven't told her no on the price yet. She's more invested in the conversation, so she's more willing to work, right? The more I'm providing, it's almost like I'm providing value to her by saying it's my fault. I'm getting her in the conversation, and now if I'm asking her for pictures, there's a chance she'll send it because she's invested. You guys see that? Is there any way you could send me a picture of the J7 Pro? And the way I worded it, I didn't say send me a picture of the J7 Pro. The words, these are called soft phrases. Soft phrases is where you make a statement or a question, but you soften it. Send me a picture. Now, could you send me a picture of the J7 Pro? Would you send me a picture of the J7 Pro? Is there any way you could send me a picture of the J7 Pro? So if you ever need them to do something, guys, you put these soft phrases. Could you? Would you? Is there any way, right? Maybe you need it. Maybe they say the screen's cracked and there's issues with it, and you want to see a picture to see if there's an issue with the LCD or not, right? So instead of saying, send me a picture of the front of the phone. You guys see how that's like too mean? It's almost like I'm telling them what to do. And someone with a type A personality, they would not want this. This would turn them off. You guys see that? Let's see. Anyone here? Let's see if there's anyone here that, like, I don't know. I was like, Chris Kripe, send me a picture of the front of the phone right now. Chris might not like the way I said that, but if I said, hey, Mr. Chris Kripe, is there any way you could send me a picture? Do you guys see how that's a little bit softer? I don't like people, right. Chris doesn't like people telling him what to do, and a lot of people don't. So what we do is we put these soft phrases. I would write these down or just watch this group chat a few times. Could you? Would you? Is there any way? It makes it softer to where it makes it seem like they're in control. Because when you say it like this, it's almost like you're asking, but they have the ability to say no. And now they feel like you're not being a butthole and trying to control them. It's easier for them to they're more likely to go along with it. So I want you guys to try this out. I want you guys to, I just want to have some practice with this. Let's say you want me to send you a picture of the front of the phone. Write how you would say that with a soft phrase in the group chat. I just want to see it. So I want you guys to ask me for a picture of the front of the phone, but instead of telling it to me, use a soft phrase to where it's a little bit friendlier, to where they don't feel like you're telling them what to do and they don't get their egos in the way, because a lot of people have egos that stop them from doing things. Someone tell me something in the chat of Next Level. Oh my God, Todd, look at that. Todd says, would you mind sending me a picture of the front of the phone? That's freaking amazing. Perfect. You guys see how smooth that is? That seems so smooth and non-threatening. That's perfect. Taylor says, is there any way you could send me a picture of the front of the phone? Beautiful. I love it. You guys, I just want you guys to feel it. You guys feel how smooth that is and how it's not controlling at all. Love it. Fantastic. Both those things are beautiful. So just have an awareness of this so you can use this. Sometimes, guys, it's these little tweaks that move the conversation forward smoother. And when you do a bunch of these little things, all of a sudden you become the best phone flipper in your area and you start making a lot of money and taking over the world. Because, guys, I guarantee you, the other phone flippers in your area, they're not talking like this. They're not going through this training. They're not getting these small micro details. And when you have it, you'll be able to close more deals and make more money than anyone else. That's just how it is. There's, should I say it? I've said it before. World Domination, says Taylor. I know 3 other people that are local in my area that have bought David Kosciuszko's phone flipping program, right? The standard program that we've all bought, that I bought. I make, I love them. I know a couple of the guys. One of the guys I went on a double date with him and 2 other girls. The other guy I worked out at the gym. The other guy was a nice guy. They're all nice guys, right? They're all really cool and everything. I make more money than all 3 of those guys combined phone flipping. Why? Because I know this stuff. I know how to talk to the people, the same stuff we're going over right now. Is there any way you could send me a picture of the J7 Pro? Yeah, give me a moment to get my husband off his game. All right, guys. Now, who here wants to learn something advanced? Yeah, she says, yeah, give me a minute to get my husband off his game, LOL. Who here sees the LOL? What are you going to do if they join Next Level? I'm going to post so many ads that LetGo and Marketplace will have to do an algorithm update based on the amount of spamming I will do. That's what will happen. But if not, we'll both make money. There's usually more leads than I can respond to in the day, to be honest with you. So there's enough phones for everyone to get paid, especially if people are posting and doing the things they're supposed to do. Who here sees the LOL right here? Oh, Chris is smart. There's this thing called, who here knows about mirroring and matching? Who here, give me a 1 in the chat if you've heard this thing called mirroring and matching. Miss Keisha? Well, Keisha does real estate. I know they teach them stuff over there in the real estate. One from Todd. So basically it's like people like themselves. So if you see people doing certain things, like if people make long drawn-out messages, I'll send long drawn-out messages back. If people send short messages, I send short messages. If they put smiley faces, I put smiley faces. Like, guys, I ain't gonna lie to you guys, when I'm on Tinder, and if a girl's starting to use emojis, there's a high probability that I'll start to use emojis back, right? Taylor says, I hate people like me. So listen, see how she put this LOL right here? Yeah, give me a moment to get my husband off his game, LOL. What did Mr. Goldstein do? I said, LOL, okay, no worries. So I mirrored that one thing exactly when she said it. You guys see that? The LOL was kind of like a laugh. She was saying, okay, give me a minute to get my husband off my game. That's how she was talking through messaging. So I mirrored that back. You guys see that? I would not have said this LOL unless she put the LOL. So she's basically, the tone of the message conversation is, all right, sounds good. Just give me a minute to get my husband off his game. And I'm saying, all right, no worries. I understand. You guys see, I want you guys to feel it. That I'm talking the way she's talking. It's like I'm almost mirroring her emotions. Front and back if you could, so I can see which model it is by the pictures. So you guys, oh guys, I'm doing something here. I'm asking for the front and the back of the phone because from the front, the J7s look kind of similar. The back, I can get a really good deal. So I'm saying front and back. But what am I saying right here, guys? What's this right here? What is this right here, if you could? I'm asking for the front and the back. So I'm asking her to do more than what she says. What's this right here? Front and the back, front and back. What is this right here? If you could. It's a soft phrase, Steve. Thank you. Absolutely. Front and back, if you could, so I can see which model it is by the pictures. And those of you that have been on some of these group chats, this is the excuse, right? I'm doing two things here. See, I'm able to get a compliance a lot by these prospects because I'm doing all these small little things. Front and the back, if you could, I'm supposed to have the word so I can see which model it is by the phones. I'm saying so, the excuse, right? I'm not just saying send me the front and the back of them. I'm saying send the front and the back if you could soft phrase so I can see which model it is by the pictures. This is the excuse about why I want the front and the back. You guys see that? We've talked about the excuse doesn't matter. It can just be good to have one when you're making excuses, basically. Oh, I buy and sell, so the highest I can go is this. Front and back if you could so I can see which model it is by the pictures. You guys see that? Very smooth. Now, guys, it was 15 minutes, and I was getting aggravated, so I started to push her a little bit. I started to be persistent. You guys see the time lapse. I said, just let me know when you get it, right? I could have said, just let me know when you get it would have been smoother to say, just let me know when you get a chance to take a picture, to get the pictures. So you guys see what I did here? I'm pushing. It's been 15 minutes. I'm ready to go. And in my head, because I appraised these, I'm calculating like $150, $200 profit because I want the money. So you see what I did here? I did this. I had the time lapse. Just let me know when you get it. I should have softened it up a little bit and said, just let me know whenever you get a chance to take those pictures. That's what I should have said here. And then I started to get the pictures, and the pictures roll in. So what I do is I reappraise them. I look at it, and the J7 guys, it was like a J7 Pro, and they were selling for about $200. So your boy Goldstein, J7 Pro, about $200, S8 AT&T $280. So I'm looking at about $480, and they're looking at $200. So I know that I'm going to make about $150 plus on both of these, right? So I want to accept the $200. I'm okay accepting it because I got information. Now, guys, let me ask you guys a question. Has anyone here ever had a prospect tell them that they want a certain amount for the phone? The prospect's like, I want $200. And you're like, great, I'll give you the $200. And then the prospect's like, actually, I need $250. Has that ever happened to anyone here? They tell you what they want. It's a good deal, so you accept it. And then all of a sudden, they want more money than what they said originally. And it just pisses you off and makes you go crazy. Give me a 1 in the chat of that. Maybe I should just go through the training because I'm asking for 1s every 2 seconds. Has that ever happened to anyone here? We're going to assume that it has, all right? So the way that you prevent that, the way that you prevent from them almost happened today in person when I low-balled in person, says Taylor. So the way we prevent that, guys, is instead of accepting the offer right away, what we're going to do is we are going to instead of accepting the offer right away, what we're going to do is we're actually going to make them jump through a hoop. Make them answer a question before we accept the offer. That way it doesn't make us seem too desperate. So what we're going to do is called, I'm teaching you guys everything here, right? So if you're just joining this chat for the first time and all this sounds confusing, basically everything we're going over in this chat is like pretty much everything you'll see in any message negotiation. It's like all the parts. You just got to see it a few times to kind of get the hang of it. So it's not like there's like 1,000 things. It's just like, it's pretty much all these things. I just don't want anyone being overwhelmed. And to be honest with you, if you go through a lot of these message conversations, there's over 30 that are in the back office of Next Level, just like this, all covering a different topic. If you just made like a decision for a month to spend, an hour a day going through a different message negotiation, I almost guarantee you would be the best in your city, probably the best in your state, and you would be really good. You would have a deep understanding of all this stuff right away. So what we're going to do is I said, okay, great. and no cracks on either phone. So by me saying, and no cracks on either phone, I'm getting her to basically invest a little bit. It's also a tie-down question, of course. But I'm getting her to basically say yes, none, right? I'm getting her to make a statement before I accept the offer. So it's like she had to do a little bit of work. So instead of her thinking, well, crap, maybe I could get more from this person, she's now thinking, okay, I had to jump through a couple hoops. I had to work a little bit to get this person to agree to 200. I don't want to be too greedy and raise it anymore because they might not accept it. I already had to work so hard to get them to 200. Does that kind of make sense, guys? So I say, okay, great. 200 for both. You got a deal. When did you want to meet? Tomorrow. Can you come to St. Louis? And then we ended up meeting tomorrow at the mall, and that's that. We met at the mall. I called her. We set the appointment earlier. I actually talked to her on the phone like 3 or 4 different times. Hey, there's no cracks. You can factor all that good stuff. So that's what I did right there to get the deal. What do you guys think? Was this helpful to anyone here seeing this message conversation and the breakdown of this? It's these small little things, but done in the right order, in the right way, and you'll make a lot of money in this business. You'll make a lot of money in this business. Just understanding all these little things and applying all these little things. Soft phrases. What to do if they become cold after the first offer. How to pull them back in the conversation. Being very, very, very smooth throughout these things. And you guys see it. This is real working. This is a conversation that happened yesterday. Great examples, says Keisha. Great details, says Todd. Yes, says Chris. All right, fantastic. Now, guys. Now. All right. We almost took up the whole hour. You guys want to see the other text conversation? Anyone want to see the other conversation? This person told me no like 4 or 5 times. I'll go through it a little faster because we're getting towards the end of the group chat, but I'll still go into detail. All right. You guys asked for it. We go ahead and dive right into it. So this person, guys, they told me no a bunch of times. They just told me no a bunch of times. But there's a couple rules for messaging. Messaging, we're going to call them the laws. Law number 1 is never argue with the customer, right? So a lot of beginners and intermediates, they'll argue with the customer. In the example I just showed you, a lot of people would have lost the deal because they would have said, oh, well, I just looked at the EcoATM, and the EcoATM is not going to give you that much. They would have argued with the customer because the customer was wrong. That's what I wanted to do originally because I knew that the customer was lying to me. However, I put my ego aside, I followed the script, and I got that deal. I met up with that lady today at the mall, all right? The other thing people do is they pull out of the conversation. We have a rule in Next Level that says never, ever, ever, ever pull out. It's called the never pull out rule. So what we're going to do is when you're going through message conversations along with all this other stuff we went over, right? There's a lot of stuff we just went over. All this other stuff, we want to stay in it. We never want to argue with the customer. When you argue with the customer, it creates tension, and you're probably not going to get the deal because now you're arguing with them. Now they don't like you. Now they feel tension. No worries, Todd. The other thing is we never pull out of the conversation, right? The first example, as soon as they said they could have gotten more from EcoATM, I could have said, well, if it doesn't work out in EcoATM, let me know, and I would have been extracting from the conversation. I would have been leaving from the conversation. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to pull out of the conversation. I'm going to stay in the conversation. So what I want you guys to see is with this next example, I'm not arguing with the customer, and I'm not pulling out. I'm not leaving. I'm staying fully invested in the conversation. So let's dive into it. So we're going to do number 2. Person says, hey, you want to buy a Google Pixel XL2 brand new? I said, yeah, still have it? He said, so this was like, I saw the message like a day later. So because it was a day later, I'm going to tweak what I'm going to say a little bit it was almost a whole day later. It was like a day or 2 days later. So I'm gonna tweak what I say to bring them back in the conversation. Yes, I'm gonna still have it. Now, why do I say still have it, right? I'm leading by asking questions, right? I wouldn't just say yes. If I just said yes, that would be absolutely horrible. It doesn't move the conversation forward. What I want to do is I want to say yes and still have it, ask a question for them to say yes so I can figure out the condition so I can move to the next part of the offer. Very important what I'm doing right here. I would never say yes. I say yes, still have it. They said, yes, I do. Sorry, just seeing your message. So they're actually pretty good at messaging because they're acknowledging that, right? So this is like a day later. Oh, I said this in the morning. They said, yes, sorry, just saw your message. Now, guys, what do I know about Google Pixel 2s? He says it's brand new, so I know that doesn't have any issues. And Pixel 2s are like always unlocked. So I know it's unlocked Pixel 2, no issues. Now I make an offer. Okay, great. I can give you $210 for it, right? The same way we make the offer, right from the script. Guy says, I need at least 300, sorry. Now let me... Here it is. He says, I need at least 300, sorry. It's just too nice of a phone, $800 and this box, okay? So he's trying to sell himself to me. And he says the word sorry, so he's fairly invested in the conversation, right? So I'm not going to have to say, oh, sorry, you said Pixel 2, right? Because he's still invested in the conversation. I can just move through the script, unlike the last example. And then he sends me a picture. Now, the screen looks cracked, guys, but when I met up with him, the screen wasn't cracked. So I'm not 100%. I don't even know what that is. Or maybe that's just, I don't know. But the screen wasn't cracked when I met up with him. So it was just like that. So he sends me a picture. And I say, it's a great phone. It's just the Google Pixel 3 was released 2 days ago. So the price on the Pixels dropped a little. So if I can find something relevant to link it, the normal excuse is, what's the normal excuse? I buy and sell, so the highest I can go is X, right? If it's something like this to where the new Pixel was released, because that's more relevant, I'll use that as an excuse. It doesn't matter, the excuse is an excuse. However, I'm following the script, guys. It's a great phone. I'm saying it's a great phone. I always say it's a great phone. In the last conversation, you saw it. It's a great phone. It's just the Google Pixel 3 was released 2 days ago, and the price on the Pixels dropped a little. Now, if I sent this, guys, with nothing else, is this good or bad? This is bad because I need to go into the benefits. I can meet you today. I can bring cash. I can't do 200. I say, oh, so I'm switching them up a little bit. I said, you can't do 200, 210 on it if I met you today to buy it. I probably should have said, I should have been a little bit more firm. I should have said the highest. I should have just followed the script, to be honest with you. But it's like why did I do this? This is still decent because this is still me asking for the offer. If I met you today, right, that's a benefit. I should have used the word cash. I probably got more objections, to be honest with you, because I just didn't follow the script. But I'm making the excuse, and then I'm going back to the offer. This is my second offer. Can't do 210 on it if I made today to buy it. He goes 270 and I'll do it, but it has to be soon. Now, what do I know about this? This guy says it has to be soon, right? You guys see that? So I'm going to use that when I'm negotiating. Soon is like something beneficial to him. So I'm basically going to say something, but the offer is I'm going to put a lot of emphasis that I can meet you like right now. I can meet you today because he said the word soon, right? It has to be soon. You guys see that? So we're going to say the highest I can go is 120 on it just because I buy and sell them. I can meet you right now, though, with cash. So now we're getting somewhere, right? Now I'm back to the script. So I'm saying that I don't say no, right? If I said no, it's kind of like I'm arguing with them. So I try not to say no. I'm saying highest I can go is 210 on it just because I buy and sell them. I can meet you right now, though, with cash. Again, power phrases. Meet you now. He wants to meet. It has to be soon. I can meet him right now. Guys, if you got a job, say no worries. I can meet you tonight with cash. It has the same effect. It was 3:17. I didn't end up meeting this guy for like 4 hours. I had to do the same thing. I had to call him, right? Sometimes I'll call them after we work out the price just to like create urgency. He says 240. Do you have anything to throw in with it? Any other electronics or anything? So this is like a silly question. I'd never do trades or anything like that. Do you have anything to throw in any electronics or anything? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to address this and I'm going to say no, but I'm going to say it in a nice way, and then I'm going to go back to the offer. I don't have any at the moment. I got your 210 in cash on me now, though. All right? I'm staying in the conversation, guys. I'm staying in the conversation. I'm not, remember what we talked about in the beginning of the chat. The message conversation is different than a normal conversation. This does not look like a normal conversation. I'm making the offer over and over. I keep saying I can meet you now. I keep saying I can bring cash. If we were to bring this to an English professor, they'd probably say that this is not a complete English thing, but it doesn't have to be. It's sales. It's negotiating. You can say the same stuff over and over and over again. I need 420 due to rent. I said 210 is my top dollar, boss. Now, what am I doing here? This is like I've already said my offer a bunch, and the person is still fully invested in the conversation. So we've gone back and forth enough, and I know he's invested enough to where if I start to pull out of the conversation a little bit and not put a lot of effort into the conversation, there's a chance he might accept it because we've already gone back and forth so much. He's already kind of invested in the conversation. If it was the first time, if it was the first offer and the guy said, no, that's too low, that's a low ball, I can't accept it, this would not be a good thing to say. But because I've already gone through so much up to this point, this is an okay thing to say, and I get the feeling he's going to chase me a little bit. Give me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. It might not have been the smoothest explanation, but I just want you guys to see the difference. It's okay to see it here because this is like my 4th or 5th offer, and I can tell he's invested in the conversation, and he's going back and forth with me. Someone give me a 1 in the chat just so you guys can see how this kind of makes sense, all right? 210, that's my top dollar, boss. Okay, I'll do it. Can you give me the address? So we close. And it took him 3 hours, right? This was 5, 6, 7. It took him 2 hours. But he get it. Okay, I'll do it. Can you give me the address? Met up with him. I bought it for $210. I sold it, and I made, it was like $85 on it. And sold that day. It was beautiful. Guys, I didn't do anything fancy with this message conversation. I just stayed in the message conversation. I just kept making the offer over and over and over again. Hey, I can meet you today. All right, great. I can meet you right now. So that's what I got for you guys. Any last minute questions for me? Because I do got to get going. I might be picking up another phone right now. Any last minute questions? Was these 2 conversations helpful? Did hopefully you learned something from these conversations you guys can use in the future to close more deals even when the prospect's kind of tough? I got a yes. Thank you from Matt. Fantastic. I think these were good examples. I like to go over different things, but every now and then I like to show you guys actual stuff of me doing it so you can see real world how it's working. Great information, says Keisha. All right, I appreciate it. Did everyone else here get value from it? Was it helpful to everyone else here too? Guys, I'm getting hungry. I might have to go get some food right now. Got a 1 from Taylor. I appreciate it. Hamburgers sound good. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. Well, that's what I got for you guys. It was great hanging out with you guys. I'm either going to go get food or go get a phone or hopefully do both. Guys, keep going through the training. Everyone here has the ability to do $1,000 a week in profit. I guarantee it. I know it. I've seen enough people do it from all walks of life, younger, older, people that work, people that don't, guys, girls, people from the north, people from the south, people that live in the left, people that live on the right, people that live all the way up in Canada, right? You guys all have the ability to do $1,000 a week in profit in this business at least, but it's up to you to take the action, right? It's all about the decision. Before you go to bed, are you going to post the ads in the platform so you can wake up the leads? When you wake up and you go through 5 leads and they all tell you to get lost, are you going to keep moving forward, do the reach out method, and keep getting new phones, or are you not? When you guys get home from your jobs, you can watch Netflix and be entertained for an hour, or you can go through a training in the back office of Next Level, get better information. There's some people that watch these. Some people will come on here and listen to me for an hour, but they haven't posted ads in 2 days. A serious phone flipper is posting ads every single day on all the platforms. Ask yourself, how many ads and how many platforms have you posted in the last 24 hours? I got all mine on Craigslist. I got all mine in all the apps. And I actually posted 2 extra ones on Let Go today just to try to drum up more business. Okay? You're only a series of actions away from having the results and having the success you want in your business, but it's up to you to take actions. No one's going to do it for you. I'm not going to post your ads for you. Taylor's not going to do the job for you. Chris is not going to respond to your leads for you. And Keisha's not going to watch training in the back office for you. She probably watch it for herself, probably why she hit the numbers she's hitting. It's all up to you. You have everything you need now to be successful in this business, but it's up to you to do the things you need to do to make this business work. Great hanging out with you guys. Guys, anytime you have a win, post it in Next Level. I appreciate everyone posting. I'm trying to make the Facebook group of Next Level one where we all support each other and we all celebrate each other's victories. And I appreciate it. Whenever someone posts something, even if it's one win, there's like 10 people that support everyone else. A lot of people, guys, are not going after their dreams. A lot of people, you guys are like at the top, right? You guys understand that? No one here is on a Thursday night going through training. Everyone here is just doing other stuff. So I appreciate it when you guys, when someone posts a win and you guys all support and encourage the other person. What a lot of people do is a lot of people don't like to see people getting ahead of them. So if they see you out there hustling, they don't want to see you making $100,000 a year phone flipping, right? Because then you're making more money than they are. So when you post it, you can't get support a lot of times in other places. I want to make Next Level a place to where we all support each other. We all encourage each other because a rising tide raises all ships, and we can all go out there and win. What are we going over in the next group chat? Says Josh. Josh, I haven't thought about it yet. We'll probably take a poll, though, and whatever you guys, Josh, and everyone else wants to go over, we'll do. Cough Monday, cough. Oh, is it Monday, says Taylor? I guess it is Monday. He's right. Ads, leads for sure. We could do that then. But I don't guarantee it. But we'll try to do that then for sure. Taylor says, Next Level is amazing. Appreciate it, Taylor. Guys, go out there, kick butt, post your ads, respond to your leads, and make a bunch of money.